Hello, my friends. Welcome to our channel. And today's topic is going to be all about how to live a happy and contented life after your 60s, and also how to prepare for it. Now, this video is going to be beyond the makeup, the fashion, the jewelry. Not entirely, because there will be an outfit or two of the day. Now, if you think this is something that you might be interested in, please think about subscribing, give us a thumbs up, give us your comments about all this. You know, when you're young and you're busy and you're working at a job, you're raising a family, life is exciting, you're going out all the time, you don't think too much about when you're going to be 60 or 65 years old. I think that's a general assumption. So the first preparedness would be, in my estimation, financial. You think, oh, I get Social Security, I get Medicare, everything will be fine. Now, preparedness depends on your job. Now, if you don't have pensions, you have 401ks where your company would contribute. A lot of times people wind up using that money instead of letting it build. You say, oh, when I get to be 60, 65, we'll sell our house, we'll have all sorts of equity. And that's another thing. Real estate is a great investment. There should be a savings of some sort that you really don't touch. Emergencies do happen. You get to a point where you're retired. If you are still interested in doing some traveling, you want to have a cushion for that. The second one, of course, is keeping your body healthy. And this isn't rocket science. This means staying active, eating well, and taking medications if you have to. The idea is supposedly not to be able to take medications, but to do everything naturally. Let's talk about how you think you can maintain happiness, be contented. Okay, being debt-free is certainly one of the first things. Being stress-free, so live your life. Being healthy, you want to be healthy, and it's so easy to exercise. You don't have to get on machines. On my email that I get all the time, there's something called Quora that comes up every once in a while. It's an organization where people belong to, and they present questions, and people give their ideas and answers on them. And this one topic came up by a man called, I believe his name is Richard Wee, W-E-E, and he's a lifetime coach, a retiree coach, and also what he calls Fun Fit. So some of these things I'm going to quote from some of the answers people give as to what their ideas are for being happy and content and living a good life after 65. Now, bear in mind that things happen. Catastrophic illnesses can interfere with all of this. Living within your means. Think about what makes you happy when you're younger, because probably the same things are going to make you happy when you're older. Coming from experience, when you reach that age, and Moose and I are quite above that now, and we have somehow, thank the Lord, have been able to sustain our happiness all this time. One of the things we have done, we raised 6 kids, had a lot of expenses with 6 children, with schooling, etc., and a lot of grandchildren. But when we retired, we were lucky enough to retire to, I guess you would call it a nanny pod, which is, we live in a 90-year-old adobe cottage, tiny, on our youngest daughter's property. Of course, I think you all know we have 6 kids. And it's so different from the great big family home we had, and I loved my home, filled it with my treasures from thrift shops, antique shops, and all our travels. And I still miss that house. It was my dream house, and I had those dreams. But you know what? I've got a lot of my little treasures here, and the kids got a lot of the other big things, and we've been very happy. Well, one of the things we started doing seriously, we did a lot of traveling all during our marriage anyway because of Moose's business. And it was one of those companies, fortunately, that liked to have the wives go along. So we went everywhere. But we started seriously cruising, probably in our 70s. And we took a lot of crossings back and forth over to Europe, and at our leisure drove all around everywhere over there. Sometimes we did take a couple of the children with us, grown children, and other times we stayed a couple of weeks in Ireland at Christmas time. We did that twice, but we prepared for that a whole year ahead of time. Everybody saved their money. So preparing for these things is necessary. Now we're getting intrinsic. You've got to learn to laugh. And if you don't know it already, you've got to somehow find humor in things. Oh, he scared me. As you know, my Moosey is never more than 10 feet away. Thank you, Moose.
I just told myself a joke.
Oh, he just told himself a joke. That's how he stays happy. Anyway, as you've probably noticed, we're pretty happy, easygoing people. I don't think I stress. The kids say, oh, you worry about everything, Mom. Maybe I do. I do worry about the grandkids and this and that, but I'm not full of stress. I'm really not. I've always been a very upbeat person. I don't have a temper. I just have enjoyed life all my life, and I think maybe that's carried into this. We've had our setbacks over the years, and somehow you recover from them. The other big thing is learning to forgive. In our 60th anniversary video, I mentioned forgiveness as one of, people always say, how did you manage to stay married for 60 years? One of my big things is learning to forgive, because things are always going to come up and you just have to forgive. That's all there is to it. And laugh. Always laugh. We have the big family, so celebrations and connection with family are one of our big things to staying happy and feeling loved. Now, if you don't have a big family nearby, you must have a circle of friends. If not, go out and make some friends. You know, a lot of these church organizations, you can meet people in your same circumstance and enjoy them, become quite close. Even the YMCA, they take trips by bus with retirees to Las Vegas or wherever, and you can circulate. Stay connected to your friends. The other thing that's important is staying in communication with your colleagues, your ex-colleagues, your business connections, because that sort of helps you make the transition from your working years where you're busy and involved into retirement. A lot of people during that time of transition become depressed and they don't know what to do with themselves, and they sit in a chair or they sleep a lot in the daytime, and they lose contact with friends. Don't do that. It's so important to stay connected and enjoy your friends. I know it was hard during COVID, but now it's loosening up. So get those friends and connections and enjoy your family. By the way, doing things with your spouse. Sometimes you get in a rut, and that can be periodic. But even if it's just going out, if Moose and I have been sitting around for a while, and during COVID you couldn't travel, we would go out for yogurt. Now that sounds simple, but at this stage of the game, and we are well beyond our 70s into our 80s, that's enjoyable for us. Sometimes we'll ride to the beach. We love clams, fried clams, and there's a place down in Carlsbad that we used to love to drive to. Just sit maybe on a boardwalk, enjoy the ocean, come home. Day trips are wonderful. We always had these big family celebrations on July 4th, the Golden Spoon contest, and everybody would gather. We have big Christmas Eve day buffet, and we have the steal the gift contests and laugh, and I hope we'll be doing those again this year. We haven't done them for 2 years now with COVID, but plan things. with family, with friends, and with your spouse. That's important. Keep busy, keep laughing, keep loving. One of the most important things, especially if you are alone, if you have lost a spouse, you live alone, volunteering is so important. Now, you can do so many things in the way of volunteering. Hospitals love people to come, especially retirees. I have met the most interesting older retired men and women in volunteer jobs. I've met them in charity stores. One of my favorites is a lovely man that works in a thrift shop at the jewelry counter. He's a lovely older man. And he and I converse whenever I go in there, and he seems so happy. Now, gift shops in hospitals and other institutions, they need volunteers. Teachers. When I was teaching, one of the nicest things that I ever witnessed was a man probably in his 70s, and he used to go to a school 3 times a week and read to the younger children, and they loved him. He was sort of an adoptive grandpa, and you would feel so appreciated if you did something like this. So get out of the house and call organizations and volunteer. I can't tell you the number of organizations that need you, and the return to you in appreciation and self-love. Love yourself, by the way. That's probably the best thing I suggest for retirement. If you get into a situation, and we all do, we all have had our problems with health. If, like me, your hip backs up once in a while, or I know many of you have constant pain, I push myself, mainly because I have to. A lot of people prefer taking it a little more on the easy side if you're in pain or you have problems getting around. I prefer the opposite. I push myself, and most of the times I find with that little bit of extra exercise that you do, even if it's just maintaining the garden or doing the shopping and lugging the packages inside, somehow my hip gets better that way. And I think they've proven that some exercise does help it, besides the bed rest every once in a while. After all this, and I say beyond the makeup and the jewelry and the fashions, all of that is still important, ladies, because I find I don't always look like this, and I have makeup on, and I am a firm believer at this age. Now, I did not wear makeup for most of my life, other than eye makeup. I always did have mascara because my eyes are pale and they would disappear. And maybe not even blush. I did have some good color in those days. Lipstick, of course. Love to fix my hair. And by the way, my Moosey called it last night when we went out to our anniversary dinner. This is an over-the-top hairdo. Well, after I took my shower, I did my scrunch, and I didn't want to lose my curls, so I just kind of never brushed them out. I just put them on top of my head because this is a good, cool summer hair. As I said, this is not something that it's not rocket science. It's something that you can understand, but preparing for retirement in some simple ways and by keeping your health. I know everybody doesn't eat right. We all love to enjoy ourselves. In fact, someone said that they maintain what they called a reasonable diet, eating what they enjoy, but in reasonable amounts. Definitely doing some natural exercising, gardening, walking, and if you're lucky enough to have good health, you've conquered it right there. So laugh, forgive, enjoy yourself, get out there, volunteer, live a simple life. Simple is fun. Thrift shops, you don't need a lot. A lot of my things, I love thrift shops. I do not enjoy overspending, and I think that goes back to the fact that I've sewn all my life, and I always used to say, oh, I could make that. And normally I could recreate an expensive outfit. So, what else did I want to talk about? Our dinner. Moosey and I, as you know, celebrated our 61st anniversary yesterday. And we heard from all the children. Everybody called or we FaceTimed with a lot of the little kids, sang, and made us feel good. But we had planned to go out for Chinese food to a place that honestly we started going to, we figured out 45 or 50 years ago. We've lived in this area a long time now. And we had a wonderful dinner. The problem was I couldn't film the two of us together because we sat opposite each other in a booth. And it was an active environment. A lot was going on. We had a great dinner. We still have some that we'll probably have tonight. As you know, when you go out for Chinese, you always have a second day that you get to go with you. And I filmed a little bit. Someone that we met in the restaurant did film the two of them, not film, but take a picture of both of us together. So I wasn't able to do too much filming, and I did not wear the jumpsuit, the black jumpsuit that everybody said, oh, wear that. It was just too fancy and too hot. But I did model it today. I was up in Colleen and Micah's grapevine little garden. Also, this is the dress that I'd been waiting for 3 weeks or more. And you can't see it from the top because, as you know, I don't like to wear sleeveless things. And I found this cute polka dot with butterfly sleeves. It's t-shirt material. It's a t-shirt at Walmart. I think it was $6.99 or $7.99, and I loved it. So I put it under this sleeveless dress, which caught my eye, and of course all the flowers and everything are down below. You'll see this when I model it. This was $19.99, and I don't have all the information on it. It took about 3 weeks to come. I believe it came from China, but it was one of those companies that I thought, well, I wasn't sure about it because I knew ordering would take a long time, but it did come, and it's cute, really cute. Sunflowers all over, makes me happy. Not top quality, but it's lightweight, silky, another one of those patio type dresses. So I will give you the information if you're interested in it. By the way, if you're interested, I think you can look up Richard Wee, W-E-E, this retiree coach. I think he might be on YouTube. And it's kind of interesting, all the responses that he got about this particular project. But this is information that you know anyway, but I like to remind you once in a while of it. So you youngins, think about preparing yourself. It comes up fast, and if you're already there, kind of cool it, live within your means, do a few things that make you happy.
Kind of amazing how their takeout orders are going.
I know. Well, happy anniversary, Moose.
Thank you. Thank you. How do I look?
You look...
A little older.
Yeah. Let's see, what time is it? 5 o'clock. Oh, we were on our way to our honeymoon at this point, weren't we?
Yeah, we stopped at a Howard Johnson's in Connecticut.
I
And
remember.
we had lobster rolls. Oh, were they good?
And we called our parents.
We did what?
We called our parents, remember, from the Howard Johnsons to tell them thank you for the wonderful wedding. What were you doing at 10 o'clock in the morning on the day we were married?
Probably straightening out my cousin's tie. He was my best man, cousin Robbie.
That's right. Everybody was
I don't.
assembling.
That whole period of time was just a blur to me.
Really? You don't remember it?
No.
And then I remember getting in the limo with my dad. And the feast begins. Shrimp chow mein, chicken
Nuts.
with cashews, peppers and zucchini and veggies, and garlic spicy shrimp. Look at those peppers in there, Mose. I'm gonna love that one.
The zucchini.
No, those red things are not zucchinis. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all so much, and you new subscribers, thank you for popping over here to see it. Love you all. God bless. Bye-bye.